Hi, I'm Mansari Muletlehi, and I'm proudly South African. Question is, am I proudly human? Or can I be proudly South African without being proudly human? All too complicated. Maybe not. Join me on this journey that led to this dilemma. See, this is what I think is really uncool. This egg box here suggests that the hens that laid these eggs enjoyed the great outdoors. They saw the clouds, scratched around the ground for bugs, and generally had a great time. Not so. Come and see how they really lived. Just hours after hatching, these tiny chicks' toes are cut off. Then, at just 10 days old, their beaks are cut and cauterized with a red-hot blade. The operation has to hit the nerve, or the beaks will grow again. Think of it as a trip to the dentist without the local anesthetic. But why, I hear you ask?
Modern farming methods have taken the humble hen off the soil and into the crammed conditions of the battery cage. To get to the food in front means clambering over your cage mates, and fewer toenails means less damage to the backs of your sisters. As for their beaks, well, chickens are meant to use their sharp beaks and fantastic eyesight to peck and forage for food. In the barren confines of a battery cage, there's nothing to peck at except your sisters. The point is, we've decided to alter the chicken to fit the cage. Imagine living your entire lifetime in a space allowance that is only 75% of an A4 sheet of paper. No soil, only bars. No sun, only dim light to subdue you. No fresh air, no sky, no grass, not even the ability to walk or run. Unable to satisfy basic instincts, such as dust bathing and laying eggs in a nest. At least in a free-range operation, the hens have got that much. In order to get maximum egg output from them, this is what humans have designed for the egg-laying chicken, whose legendary mothering instincts have inspired prose, poetry, and artists down the ages. And then, at the end of it all, well, I'm sure you wouldn't want to be born a chicken. But it's not just hens. We've decided that pigs don't need a life either. They're born with 4 trotters to run around on, sure enough. Born with a robust ability to enjoy life. But we can get more meat out of them if we keep them confined like this. The less energy they spend trotting around, the more meat they pack onto their bones. And we cut off their curly tails, because in surroundings this barren, the wiggling curly tail in front of their noses is practically the most interesting sight they'll ever see. Factory farmers say that tail biting is a vice common to pigs kept in confinement. If you consider that the dictionary definition of a vice is immoral or wicked behavior, Well, have we considered whether, just maybe, the vice lies with us? Then there are the chickens we use for meat. Selectively bred over thousands of generations to gain weight very quickly and to be big-breasted, their legs can barely hold them up anymore. Millions die crippled like this, unable even to reach the water outlet. They are slaughtered at just 6 weeks old, but even before that, thousands will die of heart failure. These genetically manipulated broiler chickens would not survive under natural conditions. But what about other farm animals? The male calves of dairy cows, for instance, often end up at animal auctions with their umbilical cords still dripping wet. They're not going to be able to produce milk, so who cares? But do we care? We visited a local high school to ask exactly this question.
I'm standing here with a group of tomorrow's consumers. Now, does the well-being of farm animals really matter to them?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it, but I think farms should treat the animals with kindness.
Yes, I am. I'm not saying we should all become vegetarians. Humans were made to eat meat. But I think us as consumers should be given the right to be able to see how these animals are treated before we eat them so that we can ensure that they have a normal life.
Yes, it matters to me. Animals also have feelings, and it is cruelty to animals to mistreat them.
Yes, I am concerned, but I think the biggest problem is that people like us aren't exposed to what happens behind the closed doors of the farming industry.
Yes, I am concerned, and I feel it is up to people like us to make the difference, for if we don't, nobody will.
Yes, definitely, because if you can harm animals, you can just as well harm humans.
Well, there you have it, from tomorrow's consumers.
One thing is for sure. The way we are treating animals is in fact against the law. A few years ago, Louise van der Merwe, South African representative for Compassion in World Farming, decided to lay a complaint with the police against a battery farming operation. Battery farming of chickens, she argued, violated the South African Animals Protection Act in 3 ways. According to the Act, it is a crime to maim an animal, and debeaking mutilates a chicken's beak for life. It is a crime to provide an animal with inadequate space. And it is a crime to cause animals unnecessary suffering.
We laid a complaint with the police against one of the biggest battery egg producers in the country, in the hope that we could make a test case out of it in open court. Sadly, it seems that farm animals are not protected by the law. The Director of Public Prosecutions declined to prosecute, even though a senior advocate at the Cape Town Bar gave his considered and written opinion that we did in fact have a prima facie case.